All right, guys, so today I'm going to show you a lot, not all, a lot of the hidden features on the BMW E60. So I already shot this video once, but it didn't turn out because we're in the sun and it was all weird. Here's the E60, 08, LCI, faded paint, and so forth. And they stuck a lot into these cars. And facelift cars, late 07 and up, really got a lot of other stuff. They have different lights, a little bit different everything. So we're going to jump inside. We're going to show you some of the most common or hidden common features. Okay, so we're going to start off with the iDrive. The iDrive, first of all, has a lot of stuff hidden here that your normal operator is not going to understand or not going to know how to get to. First things first, we click down on the iDrive button. That's going to access this menu. All right, so we have info sources. That's going to be your traffic info, your travel info for the GPS, and your service info. I'm sorry, travel info is not for GPS. I'll show you here in a second. Service info is all your brake fluid, all your brake fluid stuff, engine oil level. Actually surprised that checked that. And you click on engine oil, and you can see the intervals this is set at. Now, I think we actually coded this off to where this never does go off. It just defaulted to the maximum. And you could actually set the intervals in the combi, which I'm going to show you here in 1 second. So here you see it has all the rest of the stuff there. Moving back up here, we're going to go to check control messages. It's going to tell you if all systems are okay, if there's any issues under check control. Back out of this. And we're going to go to settings. And in the settings, we have our audio settings. Obviously, is your bass, treble, all that kind of stuff. Your speed, volume, and your master reset. Go to display settings. That's your brightness for your display. Steering wheel buttons. Obviously, it's steering wheel buttons. Vehicle tires. And in here you have your lighting. So your triple turn signal, I'll show you that right now. A lot of people don't know what that is. So what that is, if you're on the interstate, you can barely click this down. It clicks 3 times, it goes off. One more time. Then of course you click it all the way down and it stays on, right? So that's what that is. Daytime running lamps. Obviously, if you don't know what that is, you probably got bigger issues. Pathway lighting. The pathway lighting on E60 is under the mirrors. On E90 is under the door handles. And that lets you get some light as you're getting in as you hit that unlock button. The welcome lights. So let's go outside and I'll show you the welcome lights. All right, so the E60 welcome lights. We're going to hit lock. We're going to lock it. So let's say you're coming out of a store or, from your house and it's dark. So you just hit the unlock on the key fob. And that's going to turn on the halos, the eyebrow lights, all the LED stuff in the back, LED strips, the LED tubes, the tail lights, and that's what that is. All right, so back in here, we're going to back out of this. Oh, and one more thing while we're in here. You can also code on the cornering lights. Another set of lights comes on when you turn the wheel. There's many other variables you can code on to do that. So let's go and back out of here. And just because your E60 doesn't have one thing, it could just not be coded for that. There's many, many options. Your door locks. This is all your driver's door only, central locking. Let me see here. Yeah, flash when unlock, flash when unlocking, acoustic affirm, which is the beep, and so forth. There's all that. The tire pressure monitor, that's coded off on this one. HDC, I think that's something with the headlights. I don't remember. I can't remember everything anymore. Programmable memory keys and delete data. Okay, hit back. And here's our language and units, our time and date, our traffic info settings, all of our Bluetooth stuff or our phone, and so forth. Yes, you do have to link that to your phone. If you hit up to communication, all this stuff in here, BMW Assist, BMW Contact, all your phone stuff. And then I'll show you a cool one here too, the climate. So if you hit over to the climate to the left, that lets you do all the vent stuff. Also, to do the vent stuff, you just go and push this button right here, or the other side. That also flips over to all the vents. So here, instead of having the rolling knob here to go up to hot to cold, you now have the rolling knob here electronically, right? We're gonna leave that on hot because it's cold as hell outside. And then same for the passenger. And that flips to the passenger side. You control that like that. It is kind of cool, I guess, to some degree. It is also kind of a novelty, some of this stuff. So yeah, moving on here. Let me flip this. Let's get some more light in here. It's kind of dark. It's kind of dark, but it kind of works better for showing the screens here. So next up. Can't do that, it's gonna be buzzing. Okay, on the combi, which is right here, we have several things. Turn that back on. We have actually 3 different functions of this. We have a check button right here. We have a BC button right here. Sorry, the light's not super good in here. So the check button is gonna control the top of it. It's gonna be your date and time, your outside temperature, and all that. Now, if you hold the check button, okay, it's going to check all the controls. You can also check that in the iDrive too. So there's that. Now, the BC button on the bottom, you're going to hit that, and that controls the bottom half of it. So that's going to show, let me get back here. There's where it should be. Click it once. It's going to be 99 miles till we're empty. That shows how much fuel you have left. And your average speed, 34.2 miles an hour. And your average miles per gallon, which is 20.8. Well, been doing a lot of town driving with this thing. And then back to that. Now, there's a button right here for your odometer. Let's just hold that down with the key on. Triangle, keep holding it. Okay, and here's the functions for your oil change reset, your front brake pads, your service, your rear brake pads. I don't even remember. I can't even remember what all this stuff is anymore. But there's all that stuff. You can set that to wherever you want, and you can reset it in there. That's how you control basically all the service functions of the car. You can check them in the iDrive, but you control them through here. Now, if you have this shifter has some pretty dirty little secrets to this shifter. I believe this should go in your trunk, on the trunk lid in the toolkit, or by your spare tire. But this will be back there somewhere. This little handle looking thing. If the battery ever goes dead, you ever have any kind of failure, or something breaks, the shifter breaks, anything happens, right? You're going to stick your finger down in here, pull up on that bezel, take that bezel off. In here, the little key holder jobby comes out. This little guy sticks in here in that hole, and you pull it back and it latches right there. So that lets you move the shifter if there's some kind of issue with the car or with the shifter, or if the battery's dead or so forth. Now, also with the shifter, I'm going to turn this off. They did some more dirty little secrets, and that is, for some reason, they made only this shifter only, to where if you take off with the door open and drive or reverse, it'll let you get going about 10 miles an hour, and it'll slam it into park. Why they ever did that, I have not the slightest. That was the stupidest thing they ever could have done. If you're getting carjacked and the carjacker has your door open, it'll just keep slamming it in park. You can't get away. We tried to code that off. There's no way to code that off. We tried everything. It just, we don't have access to it. That is what it is. The next thing is, and it's kind of dark over here, there's a little button right here. Well, you really can't see that. Let me get a light. Okay, so this switch right here, right? So this flips back and forth. It's for the mirrors. You flip it to the left and you put the shifter in reverse, and the mirror is going to tilt down. You ever seen those mirrors? They tilt down, you put them in reverse on the passenger side. The way to keep that from doing that, just like E46 or E39, is keep it flipped to the passenger side. If it's flipped to the passenger side, it will no longer tilt the passenger mirror down when you're trying to back up. Now, another one is the downhill descent. X5s, X3s, all that stuff has downhill descent. Even this E90 has that. Everything that's all-wheel drive has that. So you go down a steep hill, you push the button on the dash, and it'll descend very slowly using the brakes, about little less than a walking speed. This car doesn't have that button. In facelift E60s, they took that out. So everything's coded in now. You can code that on or code that off. And this car is coded off. And, you know, this thing has that option. Then it also has the option to hold the car. Like let's say you pull up on a hill and you hit the brakes, right? Let's say you're at a stoplight, you're on a steep hill. You hit the brakes. The car, even though you let out the brake pedal, the car will not let the brakes loose. Until you hit the accelerator, then it'll let the brakes off. And I guess it keeps you from rolling back on a hill. It's really very funky, and we thought right at the beginning when I bought this car, I thought there was some brake issues, but there's not. We did see where we code that off and on too in the coding. But, you know, for that kind of stuff, you have to have the software for it. You cannot do it on the car itself. So that's just a small list of hidden features. There's tons and tons and tons more. And do remember on this car, it has so many computers, so many ECUs. When something goes wrong, you must have ISTA software to fix it, or some kind of cloning software. There's literally 100 different things you need to even run this car. When something goes awry, it goes awry big time. Like I said, there's tons of fun stuff on this car, but then again, there's tons of stuff that's not so fun. It's more of a nuisance than as a help or driver's aid. That's going to be it, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Have a good day.